Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice.
The Lockless Door by Robert Frost. It went many years, but alas came a knock, and I thought of the door with no lock to lock. I blew out the light, I tiptoed the floor, and raised both hands in prayer to the door. But the knock came again, my window was wide, I climbed on the sill and descended outside. Back over the sill I bade it come in, to whoever the knock at the door may have been. So at a knock I emptied my cage, to hide in the world and alter with age.
The theme of Fire and Ice and the Lockless Door is isolation can lead to madness. To help you better understand the theme, we will define two key words. Isolation is the state of being in a place or situation that is separate from others. Madness means rage, insanity, or extreme folly.
Robert Frost was born on March 26, 1874. When he was a child, his father died from tuberculosis. In high school, he became interested in poetry and attended Dartmouth College. After Dartmouth, he went to Harvard University but never got a degree. Even with his grief of his father dying when Frost was such a young boy, he managed to continue on with his life and succeeded into becoming a greatly remembered poet. In Fire and Ice, it talks about destruction by a natural force, and in some sort of sense, Frost's father was destroyed by a natural disease, which was tuberculosis. Also, tuberculosis is a disease which causes the lack of air. The destruction of the atmosphere by fire and ice will leave the earth with no oxygen or a suitable environment that one can live on. Frost felt more alone in the world after his father died. In The Lockless Door, the poem speaks about isolation, which may have been Frost's feelings after his loss.
One sound element we found was alliteration. In Fire and Ice, the two words that are being used in this alliteration are favor and fire. The repetitive F sounds make this an example of alliteration. The author Frost uses this device to grab the reader's attention and provide emphasis to this certain line. The author's opinion is stated, which may be the reason why alliteration was used to bring attention to his opinion. When the author favors fire instead of ice, it shows that he believes desire will end the world. This relates to the theme because alone, fire, which is a symbol of desire, can end the world without ice, which also relates to how even something so simple and isolated can lead to madness. This also links to the depressing mood of the poem, because with so much desire and hate in the world, he can choose which one kills the earth faster.
The alliteration we found in The Lockless Door is window was wide. Frost uses alliteration with the letter W to create a soft sound. The poem is about a person who has been isolated for many years. The soft sound it creates relates to the setting of the poem, which would probably be in a very quiet place. All alone in the house, the person shows insanity, which is madness, when going through the window instead of the lockless door. The alliteration also grabs the reader's attention to acknowledge the meaning behind him going through the window instead of the lockless door. This also represents the symbol of the lockless door, which represents missed chances. The poem is about a person who had hid for so long and finally goes out into the world. Although the door had been lockless for so long, the person did not leave and did not take that chance. However, when he or she did leave, they took another way out instead of the door. This can be telling us that the easy way out may not always be the best.
We found some symbolism in these two poems. In Fire and Ice, the symbol was fire, which represented desire, and ice, which represented hate. These two concrete objects represent human emotions. Desire and hate are opposites, but both can end the world. The author states that he believes desire would kill the world, which is a bit odd because many people believe hate would. However, the author wants to depict that too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. If you desire something too much, you may become overly possessive. This can relate to the real world by if everyone wants to become possessive of each other's land or people, that can lead to madness. The author also states hate could end the world if the world ended twice. This relates to the theme because both fire and ice are isolated from each other but still will lead to madness, which is destruction of the world.
In the lockless door can be a symbol of a person not taking chances. Even though the door does not have a lock, the person refuses to leave and wants to be isolated in the house. The symbol can also show that once isolated, it is hard to get out, but with another person calling, it may be easier. The person finally left the house when someone knocked, which shows that isolation can be escaped if another person helps. This could relate to the author's past after his father died. He may have felt alone, but another person got him out of isolation. This relates to the theme because when isolated, you are more prone to make rash decisions and decisions that aren't rational.
We found some connotation and denotation in these poems. We used the word fire. The connotation would be desire, and the denotation would be a chemical reaction which releases heat and light and is accompanied by a flame. The connotation and denotation of fire are both important devices used in this poem and represent the symbol of fire. The denotation of fire is a chemical reaction which releases heat and light and is accompanied by a flame. The heat and light are another way of saying warmth, which can be used in aspects of love. This leads us to the connotation of warmth, which relates to the symbol of fire because it represents desire. When we desire something so much, we love it, which represents the warmth. However, in the poem, the warmth alone can be destructive, which represents the theme isolation can lead to madness.
In the lockless door for connotation and denotation, we use the word cage. The connotation would be trapped. The denotation would be a box-like enclosure having wires, bars, or the like for confining and displaying birds or animals. The connotation of being trapped brings a sense of one who cannot escape from what is holding them captive. The denotation is a literal definition of a cage, which also is anything that confines someone or something. When one is in a cage or in a closed space, they are most likely isolated from others. For an example, we can look at those in jail. The people being so isolated from society in some cases tend to become insane. This relates to the theme being because of isolation leading to madness or insanity.
So fun.
Okay. The tone and mood of both of the poems are both pessimistic. This could be related to the past of the author Robert Frost or the time period he lived in. Robert lost his father when he was young, which could have led to his depression. Many authors express their emotions in the poems, which may be why the tone and the mood are both pessimistic. The poem The Lockless Door may relate to the author himself, talking about the chances he didn't take and how he always felt isolated, which also relates to the theme.
Now we are going to end with a quote by Robert Frost. The quote is, "In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life." It goes on.